Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to my YouTube channel and this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's 5:45, it's Monday morning. It was a very, very wet weekend, and it looks like we may have some rain today as well. But I look forward to kicking off the week like we normally do, by doing a book summary and getting us thinking and hopefully learning a trick or two along the way. Today's book summary is an interesting one, it's a good one. It's a book entitled Presence by an author named Amy Cuddy. And it's a book that focuses on body language, focuses on what we physically do to enable us to generate the right mood, the right state, to be able to handle the challenges we face, and understanding the importance of body language, how it not only influences us, but it also communicates and influences other people around us. So the hidden story of body language. I must admit, from a very, very young age, I've loved body language and studying body language. And I forget who the author was, but many years ago I read a book on body language, which absolutely fascinated me as a teenager. But it's a topic, it's a subject which continues to interest me, and it's something that I guess everybody will have an interest in, and this author brings it to a head and talks about it a little bit more. And I actually learned a few new things today, things that I can incorporate into my life and to my daily schedule, and things that I hope that you can feel and understand, and it may resonate with you as well, to get you I guess vibing in a particular way to improve the connection that you have with the people around you. Anyway, the author kicks off the book with a quote to once again get us thinking and get us inspired, where she says that presence is the state of being, and the emphasis is state. Presence is the state of being able to comfortably express our thoughts. And she goes on to say that a lot of book summaries that I've done, a lot of pop psychologists say that, and even ancient Greek philosophers basically say that we are what our thoughts are. But modern science now basically says to us that thoughts influence how we feel, but also how we feel influences our thoughts. So it's a two-way permeation. Now, one feeds the other, and there's a feedback loop which reinforces and enhances this whole thing about thought, feeling, thought. So it's just not a one-way street as what we first may have thought of years ago, because just by influencing your thoughts and managing your thoughts can influence how you feel, but you can also manage and influence the way you feel through your actions and what you actually do, which will also impact how you think and the thoughts that you're able to generate and hold on to. So the author then goes on to say that when we feel, and the emphasis is feel, so when we feel powerless, it's natural for us to become self-absorbed. It's natural for us to become negative, to be closed, to be pessimistic, and to enjoy a lower risk tolerance. You basically go into your shell when you feel powerless or when you feel in a particular way. But what we're saying is that we can manage the way we feel by managing what we do. So I remember going to an Anthony Robbins seminar years ago, and he says that you can actually change the way you feel by managing your state, by moving, by jumping up and down, by breathing differently, by basically taking control and influencing your state. And that state can then change your mood by moving and by doing things and by thinking things. So there's a combination, there's a soup that you can basically generate by incorporating certain techniques into your daily schedule and things that you can do physically that can improve the way you think and the way you feel. It's just natural that when we're entering unknown situations that we can feel stressed. But what the author is saying is that when you're entering the unknown, you need to focus on things that help you. You need to focus on our strengths, because by focusing on the positives and focusing on our strengths, it keeps our cortisol level in check. What is cortisol? Cortisol is a chemical, it's a hormone that gets secreted into our bloodstream that impacts our heart rate, impacts our ability to focus and to behave in certain ways. And if you've got too much cortisol, too much stress hormone in your body, then your body tends to overreact, and you tend to step into or change into the reptilian state of mind, where you're basically into fight, flight, or freeze, and you can't quite think straightly. You can't think in a rational way, and you're basically reacting in an instinctive way to the impulses and the things, the stimuluses happening around you. So it's all about managing your state, which many authors talk about, managing the way you are poised, managing the way you feel, managing what you think. And in order to manage your state, what this author tells us is that we need to breathe in a more relaxed way. So have a regular breathing pattern. We need to maintain a certain posture. We need to engage and leverage a particular body language, as it can influence the secretion of stress hormones such as cortisol, as we said before. So what the author goes on to say is that when we are present, our facial expressions are modified, our movements align, and we don't end up fighting ourselves. No, we end up working with ourselves and aligning ourselves with ourselves, because we be ourselves. So it's important, as we said, what the author is saying is to manage your state, because by managing your state, you align with yourself and you express yourself. So it's important. The key message, the key takeaway from this book, this author, is to manage, where possible, your body. Manage your body language, because it has a huge influence on not only how you feel and how you see yourself, but how you influence others around you as well. So your posture is really, really important. And it's really, really interesting, because I found it extremely powerful what I learnt from this book, where the author says that we take upon ourselves powerless positions. We enter a body language which relegates us to powerlessness. It disempowers us, and it steals our attention, and it gives the upper hand to others around us to be able to influence us, to be able to manipulate us, and to invite negativity into our lives. So the author here says that the position that we take, the I position. What's the I position? The I position is when we're basically looking at our phones or looking at our iPad. We've got our head down, we've got our hands close to our body, and we're in a submissive sort of position from a body language perspective, which impacts the image that is projected to others. You know, eye devices, when we're holding our phone and we're just in our own little worlds, reduces our assertiveness. As simple and as silly as it may sound, there are scientific sort of examples that have proven this. So what the author is saying is that by all means use your iPhone, by all means use your iPad, but use it in an expansive, positive, physical expression. You need to stay in an upright position, as upright as possible, and expand your body, expand yourself so you look big and you don't look submissive, and you don't look tied up and tiny. So what the author here says from a body language perspective, which is really, really interesting, really, really powerful, is that when you enter a group, when you enter a room, whatever you do, try and make yourself look bigger as you can, and be as big as possible. Open up. You see it happening in the animal kingdom, where birds flap their wings, where snakes, like the cobra opens up its neck. When things are threatened, or when things move in to another environment. A lion looks big, it's got a big mane, it expands its body, it stands upright. There are things that we can do as humans in a social context that can improve our station in life. And the biggest and most important thing you can do is to open up, is to expand yourself. When you're sitting down, as a male, sit with your legs open. Have your hands away from your body. Don't be folded, don't be cross-legged, because all of these things, believe it or not, are cues that others take from us, and it's like an invitation to allow them to maul us. So I remember reading from a martial arts perspective years ago that if you're weak, feign strength, and if you're strong, feign weakness. So once again, through the use of body language, we can influence the way we think, the way we feel, and also the way others see us and how others treat us. Because body language are basically called non-verbals. It's a way that we communicate with others without having to say anything. And it's very, very powerful. It can have a huge and enormous influence because it can give others a sense of who you are without you saying a thing. It can make you likable. It can make you respected. It can make you feared. It can make you trusted. So what normally happens when people come into a room, those who are students of of body language can understand the dynamics without anybody telling them, because you've got people who take strong positions within a social context, who open up, and you've got other people who reverse mirror, who opposite mirror, and take on submissive body language expressions. So when we're out in a social context, it's probably interesting to see people's body language. But the author here says that you're better off being expansive, being big, being open. If you're small, try and make yourself look bigger. And if you're big, maintain your bigness, because it has a big influence, a huge influence, direct and indirect influence, on how others see us and on how others treat us. So opposite mirroring is when you come into a social context and you expand yourself, you look big, and the other person will fold their arms, will cross their legs, will hold their neck, will lower their head. There are things that people do when they feel threatened or when they feel uncomfortable, which impacts how they interface with other people, according to the author. And it tends to be gender-based as well. The author says here, and she's a woman, she says that women are more likely to be closed in their body language. But here is the big lesson. The big lesson is that you should be able to fake it until you make it. Even if you feel uncomfortable, even if you feel threatened in an environment, don't worry about it. The author here says, open up, be bold, be big, live life in a big way, because you can fake it and it can change the way you look, and it can impact in a big way the way you feel. Because what it does is, by faking it, by acting big, by looking big, it impacts the cortisol level by reducing it, so you feel less stressed, and it also increases the testosterone in the bloodstream, which makes you feel and act and appear more powerful and strong. Because the mind can change the body. Now, what you think can change how you feel. But the big lesson here from this book is that the body can also change the mind. How you feel, or how you hold yourself, how you stand, and how you portray yourself can impact how you feel and how you appear to others. So there's a feedback loop. Now, one works in one direction and it also influences what it receives. So very, very powerful, very interesting, and great to know. Something that we can all use, as I said, and incorporate into our daily life and our schedule. So it's important to learn to manage your state. It's important to learn to manage your body language, because it reduces stress and it increases testosterone, and it makes you, I guess, more comfortable in yourself. You don't have to do anything other than to know that you can manage your body language through your dress, through visuals, through how you hold your arms, how you hold your legs, the uprightness in your posture, and all of these little things end up becoming big things. So the author also goes on to say that you can spend a couple of minutes before you're going into a meeting by, jumping around, improving your breathing, thinking positive thoughts, but you can do a lot of different things that influence your state. And if you change your state, if you improve your state, then you can improve the way you portray yourself. You can improve the chemistry, you can improve your vibe, and the energy level that you are able to express and generate to other people. So we can do exercises, we can do certain exercises when you're in a lift going to work or just before you go to a job interview. Now, do things, expand yourself, do things to enable other people to see the best in you, the positive, the powerful in you. And of course, there are times where you may be doing these things and they may work against you. They may intimidate others around you and cause potential issues and challenges. But at the end of the day, you're better off coming out and looking strong than looking weak. Because if you look weak, what it does is it invites, it generates, it manifests the lion in those around you. It manifests the tiger in those around you, and you're almost inviting people to maul you, to attack you, to reduce you, and to basically discount you. So the bottom line is that, you know, from the day we were created, we evaluate presence in those around us, and it's a mind and body phenomenon that one influences behavior, and our behavior influences how other people see us and how we see ourselves. So once again, the key lesson from this book is to learn to manage your presence, learn to manage your body language, because by managing how you look, how you feel, and by living big, by being expansive in the things that you do, will improve your ability to socialize. It will improve your ability to be trusted and to be welcome into social circles, because people want to be with people who have a strong vibe, who have a positive sort of influence or a presence. So once again, the book is entitled Presence, and it's all about understanding how our presence, how being present and leveraging that presence and that the way we hold ourselves and the body language that we incorporate and we generate can influence in a big way how we are received by our environment, by the people around us, and how we receive ourselves. So be big, be proud, in a positive way, and in a humble way, but make sure you use it to your advantage and you're not using it to your disadvantage, where other people manipulate and use you and reduce you to a person who you don't really want to be. So take care, everybody. I look forward to coming to you again from a different location with a different message of empowerment. I wish everybody a happy week, a happy Monday, happy start to the work week. It appears like it's going to be wet because it was a really wet weekend, but we'll see how it goes and where it leads us. So take care, and thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel, Jim's 5am Club, and I'll come to you again from a different place with a different message of empowerment, where we use OPE, other people's experiences, through book summaries to leverage the slices that we are able to align in our lives, the slithers of reality to enable us to have a broader and a deeper worldview, and to enjoy what is in store for us today. Take care, everybody. Yasas, and we'll chat again shortly. Bye for now.